Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a get ready with me video. I had a request to do an everyday makeup tutorial kind of video, and I'm by no means a makeup artist. I wouldn't want to tell anybody how to do their makeup, so instead of doing a tutorial I thought I'd do like a chatty get ready with me so you can see the kind of products that I use on a day-to-day basis. So without further ado, I'm just gonna flick back to before I had my face all did and done, so you can see how I go from looking like that to looking semi-decent like this, or at least I hope I look semi-decent. If you don't think I do, please don't tell me that. Okay, so before I start doing my makeup, I like to scrape my hair back off of my face so that I don't get makeup in my hair, etc, etc. And I am going in with a primer to start with, and I spoke about this primer in a favourites video. It is the In Transit Camera Close Up Mask, Moisturiser and Primer in one, and it is from This Works. And this is my favourite primer at the moment. I got it in a Glossybox, so if you want to get yourself a Glossybox, as always I've linked that down below as well. I'll also leave a direct link to the product and any products mentioned in case you want to buy them for yourself. So yeah, I'm going to go straight in with that, and I just get a little bit on my fingers and sort of dab it round and then smooth it in. And I get quite dry patches like around my nose and around my forehead, like around my hairline and things like that. And I also have really bad pores on my nose as well, so I just like to make sure that my skin is nice and primed, ready for foundation. So there we go. And it feels so nice on your skin. It feels really moisturising, so that's why I like this one. I then use the L'Oreal True Match foundation, and the shade that I get is Rose Ivory, because I am very pale, as you may be able to tell in this video. So this is the foundation that I use on like a day-to-day basis. I also like to use one of the Clinique foundations as well, but I use that more for like when I'm going out and things like that, just because it is a bit more pricey, so I don't like to use it on a daily basis. But this is my go-to for sort of everyday foundation. And I will pump like 2 pumps on the back of my hand, and then get a damp beauty blender. This is the B blender, it's the Superdrugs brand blender, can't get my words out. So yeah, I just use one of those, and I will go straight in and start blending that. Also, I like the True Match foundation because it does have quite good coverage, and you may be able to tell, or you may have been able to tell before I started putting foundation on, I do have some acne scarring like on my cheeks around there and on the other side, because I do have acne prone skin. Luckily for me, since being pregnant, I haven't had too many breakouts, so that is a bonus. My skin seems to be getting on with the pregnancy hormones quite well, despite having a girl, because everyone has, what is the saying, that the girl sucks out your beauty or something like that. Well, that hasn't happened with me. If anything, my skin has been a lot better. Okay, so that is my foundation done, and next I move on to concealer, and this is another one that I mentioned in one of my favourites videos. It is the Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer, and I get it in shade Fair because I am fair skinned. And this is amazing for the price. I think it's like £4, and it really covers like my dark circles around my eyes, because I'm not getting much sleep at the minute with the old being 33 weeks pregnant and everything now. Sleep is definitely something that is eluding me, and also just those acne scars that I said about, like to just pop a little bit over those as well. And if I do have any spots and things, then obviously I'll use a bit of concealer just to cover up any redness, etc. And the lighting's really bad today, so I'm really sorry. It's really like dull outside, so I've had to turn the exposure up on the camera, and now I'm thinking maybe it's turned up a little bit too much, so I'm just gonna turn the exposure down and then blend in my concealer. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. I don't know. Okay, so that is my concealer all blended in. Next, I'm going in with the MUA Makeup Academy Transparent Pressed Setting Powder. I used to use the Clinique Universal Blotting Powder, but again, as it is a bit more pricey, I found this one in Superdrug, and I found it's quite a good dupe for the Clinique one. It works just as well in my opinion, and it is a lot cheaper, but I do still have my Clinique one on hand for if I'm going out and things like that. If I've got like a night out planned, or an evening or a whole day at the weekend where I really want my makeup to like last, then I'll use that. But on like a daily basis for work and things, I tend to just use the MUA one, just because it's a bit cheaper, easier on the purse strings. And if you watch my channel, you know I'm all about budgeting at the minute. So I just get the Real Techniques. It's just a, I don't know the names of my brushes, so I'm really sorry, but I just get a Real Techniques brush and I kind of pat it on to start with. I don't like to go straight in and like rub everything, because I find it would then rub like the foundation off, I don't know. So I like to pat. I don't like to use the little sponges that come with a lot of compacts. I think the Clinique one comes with a sponge, but I find it then takes off your foundation. So I prefer to just dab a little bit on, blend a little bit. So next I go on to bronzer, and I have a little mini version of the Benefit Hoola bronzer, and this is just one of those ones you can get out of, you know they do the little sets with like all the minis in, and I find the Hoola bronzer lasts so long because you don't need like a lot, a little goes a long way. So I've had this one for a little while and it seems to be lasting really well. And I do like it because it's not too orangey, and with me being quite fair skinned, I don't want anything too orange on my skin. It is always tricky when you're pale to get like a bronzer that doesn't just like go bam and like is in your face like too much. You don't want anything too much on your skin, so. And then just a little bit round there, up here, just to give like my face a little bit more shape. I've got quite chubby cheeks at the minute. I think that is probably down to weight gain during pregnancy. And then I move on to blusher, and at the minute I am using the Makeup Revolution's blusher palette. I got it from Superdrug not long ago and I love it. But I love blush. If you watched my Glossybox video, then you would have heard me talking about how much I love blush. So yeah, I'm using this palette at the minute, and again just using another Real Techniques brush. I'm not sure of the name, and I think I'm gonna go for this kind of like orangey shade here. I'm not sure if it's got a name. It's not got a name. It's kind of like a corally pink shade, so I'm gonna go in with that. The one thing I will say about this blusher palette is the powders are very powdery, so you don't need a lot on your brush and you really need to like tap it off, else you're gonna end up like boom, like a lot of blusher will come off at once. And I just follow the line of like my bronzer as I'm applying it, and I'm by no means a makeup artist. I think I said this already at the beginning. So, you know, you apply your makeup however you want to. I'm not telling you how to do your makeup. Also, please don't comment down below telling me that I'm doing my makeup wrong. This is just how I do my makeup. It works for me every day, so. And then for highlight, I am using the Tanya Burr, and it was the Beautifully Defined gift set. And I got this for my birthday last year, I think I want to say. So I'm going to use the powder highlight in here, and I haven't used a whole lot of it, but as you can see, all the products are like, they're really nice. I buy so many highlighters and eyeshadows and things, and then I don't get through them all. So I'm going to use the powder highlight in here. It does also come with a liquid highlight, but I've never used a liquid highlight, and I'm a bit scared to. I don't know, I just feel like, I don't know, I need to test it out. But anyway, so going in with the powder highlight, and I just sort of go along my cheekbone and then round up towards my like brow, and then a little bit down my nose and along my cupid's bow. Okay, so next I am moving on to my eyebrows, and you might be able to tell that my eyebrows have been a little bit neglected as of recent times. So yeah, they're not looking their best shape, so they're not going to be fantastic by any means, but I am using the Maybelline New York Brow Precise Micro Pencil, and I really like this one because it's got like the little spoolie on one end, and then it's got this like twistable sort of pencil here, and it's like the waxy kind, not like the pencil-y kind. I'm really bad at explaining things, as you might be able to tell, but yeah, I like this one. Okay, so they're fairly even. As they say, your brows are sisters and not twins, so let me just actually fill in this bit a little bit more. And then I like to set my brow with the Benefit Gimme Brow. On really lazy days when I can't be bothered to fill in my brows, I will just like use this because it is a tinted brow gel. But I also like to use it to sort of set my brows in place, and it gives them that little bit of extra like colour in between the gaps and things like that, and I just really like it. I do think it stops them looking as harsh as well. They look a little bit more natural once I've brushed through them. Moving on to my eyes, so I'm going back to this Tiny Bear palette again because it does have some nice eyeshadows in there as well. I'm going to use the highlight as like a base for my lid, and then use the other shades to sort of shade around. And these brushes that I'm using are the Eco Tools, and they're the double-ended eyeshadow brushes. I just got them because I thought they seemed really handy. Rather than buying like 20 million different brushes, I thought I'll just buy these ones. And then just put this shade in my crease, and this is the Silky Pajamas shade that I'm putting in my crease here. And then the darker shade Baking Brownies, I'm just going to pat a little bit onto the outer corner of my eye. I don't like my eye makeup to be too dark and too heavy on like a daily basis, but I do like adding like a bit of definition. So now time to go in with the eyeliner, and the eyeliner I'm using at the minute is the Maybelline New York Master Precise Liquid Liner. I tend to steer towards the sort of pen type liners just because I find them easier to apply the eyeliner with. I'm not very good with the whole one that's like a stick that you dip in a pot or whatever. So this is sort of my liner of choice because it's got like a nice nib on the end. I don't know if that's going to focus, because it's got like a nice nib on the end, as you can see. So that's really easy to just sort of get a nice line to your eye without like too much effort, and it's minimal chance of it going wrong, which is what I like. Okay, so that is my eyeliner done. I'm not sure how well you can see it, so I've sort of zoomed the camera in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I'm not the best at winged liner by any means, but sometimes, you know, it's fun to experiment, so I'm not giving any like winged liner advice aside from the fact that if you're not very good at it like me, then maybe this kind of eyeliner pen thing will be good for you. Now I'm going to put some mascara on, and this is the Maybelline Lash Sensational, and I like this mascara because I prefer the applicator. I like the fact that it is like a plasticky one and not a brush with like loads of bristles. And I do put some on my bottom lash line as well. Okay, so that's my mascara done, and now finally I'm going to do my lips, and I am lining them with the Maybelline New York Colour Sensational Lip Liner, and what shade is this? And it's in the shade Dusty Rose. Although I like the colour of this liner, I have found that it's kind of dried out a little bit, and I haven't had it overly long, so it's not my favourite liner by any means, but I find that the shade goes really well with my lipstick. So okay, so my lips are lined, and then finally the lipstick I'm using is MAC, and it is in the shade Brave. Okay, so that's my makeup finished. I'm going to do my hair now, and then I'll show you the finished everyday look. Okay, so this is the finished look once I have done all of my makeup. As you saw at the beginning of the video, you already know what I look like when my makeup's done. So if you like this kind of video, then please do give it a thumbs up. Leave your comments down below, any makeup recommendations, any tips for me so that I can maybe do my makeup better, or you know, anything like that. Please do leave it in the comments down below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future uploads, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!